for a figure 8 knot, also known as stopper knot, all you have to do is just reach around, pull back, put it through. As you can see, it makes a figure 8, literally. It does not need a safety. Figure 8 knot. For the figure 8 bite, well, any figure 8 knot that needs a safety, you want to give yourself a bite, hold on to it, and for the part where you're going to tie your safety, give yourself about 18 inches, about 1.5 feet. That hand now isn't going to move. You're going to do the same thing as a normal figure 8. When you stick it through, you can see that hand still doesn't move, and when you go to tighten from the side of the bite. Once it's as tight as that can go, you pull from the other end. You now go on the back side of the rope. You can see it's the back side. This is the front, this is the back, because this is where the rope is sticking out of. The rope end that you're going to use to tie your safety has to go over the other end. You tie your safety that way. You pull it as tight as you can. You dress your knot. And that's a figure 8 on a bite. So for a figure 8 follow through, the first thing you want to do is you want to tie a normal figure 8. You want to make sure it's kind of loose. You want to put it around an object, bring it back through, and all you're going to do is follow the pattern of the rope that's coming out. You want to make sure to give yourself enough rope. Once you think you have enough, you can tighten everything down. Again, we're still on the back side of the rope. So what I'm going to do is, since this end is what I'm going to tie my safety with, it's going to go over. Once it's over, then I tie my safety through there. Cinch it down and dress it. Figure 8 follow through. Next we have the figure 8 bend. To bend is to mend, which means we're putting 2 ropes together. As you can see, it's going to be 2 ropes of equal diameter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a normal figure 8. I'll make sure to give myself just enough rope to be able to tie safety on the other end. So that should be about good. Then from there, I'm going to grab my other piece of rope and I'm going to follow it through. Just like a follow through, but with another hose. Now make sure to give yourself enough rope so that you can tie safety on here also. We're on the back side, so again this goes over, around and through. You want to make sure to do it around the rest of the blue rope, and the same thing on this side. Just flip it over, cinch everything down. It goes over, around, and through. It's figure 8 bend. Up next we have a double loop figure 8. So as you can see, what I did is I gave myself a big loop. It's going to take up the majority of your rope. You're going to grab the 18-inch mark, like how we said for all the other figure 8s. This is the side I'm going to tie my safety with. This is about 18 inches. This other side, you can imagine, is 100 feet long. You're going to go ahead and you're going to start like you're doing a normal figure 8. You can see this left hand hasn't moved this whole time. Instead of sticking the bite through that hole you made, you're just going to hold it there. I like to imagine that this is a cave and you're just holding it to the entrance of it. From here, you just push it through, just like that, through the end of the cave. You then stick your hand through the rest of the bite. You grab what you push through that cave and flip this all the way down. The trick here is to now pull from the side that you pulled through the cave. If you start pulling from this end, it's going to mess up your distance for your safety. Once you can't pull anymore from here, then you pull from the other end. You know you have it right when you have 2 ropes at the top and 3 at the bottom with 2 bites sticking out. Once again, you go to the back side. The rope you're going to tie your safety with goes over. The reason we do this is so the safety's on the same plane as the rest of the knot, or else it'd be breaking the knot. Once it's on there, you can cinch everything else down and dress the knot real well, and that's a double loop figure 8. So the difference between a hitch and a knot is a hitch needs tension to hold it up. A knot, you could drop it on the floor and it'll stay together. So a half hitch, all you do is you make half a loop and it should hold itself up like so. If you do it the other way, like this, it doesn't hold anything up. See, there's nothing there. So you want to make sure you do it this way and it can hold itself up. That's a half hitch. The next hitch we're going to do is an open clove hitch. What you want to do is you want to grab one hand here and one hand here. You're going to make sure your thumbs are sticking out. You're then going to put your hands across each other like this. As you can see, you have one half hitch here and one half hitch here going in opposite directions. What you don't want to do is put them together like that. You want to make sure to push against the rope holding them. Then from there, just stick your hand in and grab it. You know you have a clove hitch when the middle rope is sticking straight out. The middle rope here is sticking straight out and you have one slash across it. That's an open clove hitch. The next hitch we're going to do is going to be a horizontal clove hitch. So as you can see, what I'm going to do to start off is you see the end of the rope going this way. It's dunking in. That means for the rest of the hitch, it's going to keep going in that direction. From there, I'm going to cross it over. Just like that. Just like that. That hole that I made, I'm going to reach through it and grab it. From here, if I push against it, that's breaking the knot. So what I want to do is keep going in that direction, how we said. You can give yourself a lot of slack on this one to pull it through. As you can see, I still have a clove hitch, and you can tie a safety. You could tell I have too much rope to tie safety, so you could just tie it down here at your 6-inch mark. Then from here, all you have to do is pull and feed the rope through. Since it is a hitch, it's held together by tension, and it'll come back so the safety's on the hitch itself. That's a horizontal clove hitch. The next hitch we're going to do is a vertical clove hitch. So as you can see, I'm going in this direction. Same as the horizontal, since we're going in that direction, the rest of the hitch, the rope will be going there as well. What I want to do is I cross it under so it holds it up. Like how we said, that's a half hitch. Then from there, I push the end of the rope through, and that knot, that big loop I created, I pull that through there. You can check it because I have a half hitch here and a half hitch here going in opposite directions. If I go this way, it's breaking the knot again. So I want to keep going around. Again, I can tie my safety at my 6-inch mark and just pull whatever excess rope I have and cinch everything down. And as you can see, that's a vertical clove hitch. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie the handcuff knot. So what you do is just like an open clove hitch with your thumbs out, you bring your hands together, and the same way that we put it across like this, not this way, but across the rope, instead of just holding it there, you're going to grab each middle section, so this one right here and this one right here, and you're going to push it through the opposite one. So as you can see, I'll do one at a time. I'm going to push this one through there, and then this back one, pull it through here. You then pull as much as you need to be able to fit a victim's hands through. Their hands go in, and you pull tension on these through to close it. That's a handcuff knot. For the bowline, like how I like to do it, is I like to think that this end is my rabbit. My rabbit is attached to a tail, so this is its tail. The rabbit's tail always goes on top. You then hold that little loop right there. The rabbit is going to come out of the hole and it's going to lay down. This big bite you created here is now a lake, and this end of the rope is a tree. The rabbit is going to come between both of them. It's then going to go back in the hole. You're going to grab both these ropes right here and this rope here to tighten it. The cool thing about it is if you pull too much through, that's fine, because you can tie your safety at the 6-inch mark again and just pull the rest of it through. Make sure everything's cinched down, and that's an inward bowline. So for bowling around the object, it's the exact same thing. But before you start, you want to make sure to put your rabbit around whatever object you're tying. The rabbit is again tied or is attached to its tail, and the tail goes on top. The rabbit's going to come out of the hole, it's going to lay down. You still have your lake and you still have your tree. The rabbit's going to go between both of them and back in. You're going to grab both ends and pull from there. Again, you tie your safety wherever you need to, and if you have too much, you can just pull the slack through. That's a bowline around an object. So a chimney hitch, just like any other hitch, is held together by tension. So what I do is I put it around an object. I then make sure to cross it to form an X. I like to use my right hand to do this. I hold it about arm's length to make sure I have a good distance. The trick to this is holding tension the entire time. So what you're going to do is you're going to dunk this in. It's going to create that little loop. Instead of going around so it stays like that, you want to make sure to cross it on this side and hold it there with your thumb to hold that tension. So again, just cross it, you're going to dunk it back in. Then from there, you can do one of two things. You can either hold it there to tie your safety, or I like to turn around and tie it this way. Again, the trick to this is always keep tension on the hitch or it'll come apart. Once you have your safety tied, you can see I can put my weight on it and it's not going anywhere. All you have to do is just turn the hitch, slide whatever distance you need, lock it back in place, pull again, and it should hold. Chimney hitch. The next knot we're going to tie is called the Becket bend. Again, to bend is to mend. The other thing you can call this is a sheep bend. So what I like to do is I like to start with a bite and I tie a safety around it. You want to make sure you have just enough for your 6-inch mark, and you cinch that bite all the way down so you barely have anything left inside of that safety. You then grab your other rope. You make sure it's a smaller diameter. You stick it out just like a rabbit comes out, it lays down. I like to stick my finger in there to hold it. You then pull enough through and you stick it right where your finger was. You then grab both of these ends and you tighten it. When I tighten it, I like to hold the backside with my finger so it doesn't all come undone. You tighten it, you hold it in place. I can already see this is too much for my 6-inch safety, so I'll pull some back out. I'll come across and I'll tie my safety in place there. That is a sheep bend, also known as a Becket bend. The next knot we're going to tie is a water knot. You have to make sure to do this only with webbing. So what you do is you tie an overhand safety. You make sure to keep it loose. What I like to do is you just follow through around the whole distance of it. You have to make sure to give yourself enough. Once you have it through, you grab both ends and you tighten them down. Then from there, that knot should hold itself in any situation. Water knot.